Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 here between OGS Top and LosirA. This time we are on Typhoon Peaks. Here in the upper right-hand corner is Top as our red Terran player, and here in the bottom left we do have LosirA as the blue Zerg player. Right now we do have Top ahead 1-0 in this series between the two. Just some very nice play with Cloak Banshees, something that LosirA wasn't really prepared for. We saw a strong counterattack from LosirA and managed to do quite a bit of damage to Top, but at that point Top was already too far ahead, especially in the economic game, and there was really nothing LosirA could do to come back. So anyways, here we are. Game number 2, Typhoon Peaks. Let's get things roaring here. We are in cross positions right now, so LosirA and Top are directly across the map from each other, having to go basically through this centralized path to get to the opponent. Having control of the Xel'Nagas are very solid in this particular game here, given their positions. Any control of these Xel'Naga towers should tell you if any basic attacks come straight through the center. There are ways to kind of meander around, but then you do also have to deal with destructible rocks midway and things of the nature. Back over here, we can see right now Top is moving out across the map very, very early with that SCV scout proxy barracks here from OGS Top. So OGS Top will be looking to be aggressive very early on right now. And actually looks like a second Rax might be coming out over here as well. So very interesting play. Now something to realize though is that it does put him closer to the actual base here of LosirA. This is a proxy 2 Rax, and you know why this is phenomenal for Top? Because LosirA is fast expanding, and I don't blame him. You know, this is a large map. Early aggression, especially things like a 2 Rax, typically aren't as effective on this map, and this makes it very comfortable for a Zerg player to go Expo first and then move into Pool Extractor. But again, LosirA, expecting that he's safe, won't be expecting a proxy 2 Rax, so these Marines will be moving out. Now we've got SCV scouts because Top needs to hit fast and he needs to hit hard, so he needs to find out immediately where his opponent is, and he'll actually know in just one moment as soon as he realizes that both these bases he's scouting are the incorrect ones. He's obviously hoping that LosirA is right here, but as we can see that is not the case, and now he knows LosirA is down here in this position. So here we go, we will be seeing those SCV scouts move out. Here come those Marines as well. They will be streaming straight to that base, and actually looks like they're amped to go into the main. Likely, there we go, the re-rally is going down to that expansion over there. So Top back over here in this main. Don't obviously expect a refinery anytime soon. The probable transition is into an expansion. Now here we go. The bunker is getting placed right now. We've got a Marine and the SCV moving down to engage, and that's going to protect the SCV building this bunker here for Top. And Top's getting a bunker in a little bit closer, pulling down with these Marines a few SCVs as well. LosirA, very dangerous position, but he's got 10 Zerglings coming out, and this is actually pretty phenomenal for Top because that means a lot of things that are not drones. A lot of larva that is not drone, so there's lots of Zerglings, and especially if Top can defend this and allow these bunkers to get up, he will be in a tremendous position. So the Zerglings, unfortunately, a few of them getting caught out of position this early on in the game, especially with without upgrades, you cannot have those Zerglings get cut off and taken out before the rest of your army has moved forward to engage. A few more Marines pushing down right now. We've got more Marines in production over here as well. There hasn't been that transition into the expansion, but we've got 10 more Zerglings coming out again, so unbelievable. Only 16 drones, 6 Zerglings are in play, 10 more in production here as well. LosirA will be losing this expansion, does want to pull away from those Broodlings when they pop, and actually there we go, pushing back with those Marines, getting a few in the bunker, the rest in that bunker over there as well, and very, very nice here by Top. Just a stupendous opening, and it certainly put him in a very strong position. Worried about a counterattack here, we can see deciding to come out with that full wall off. He's way above where he needs to be in terms of supply right now. He could do without that at the moment, but he's doing it basically to kind of protect himself. Otherwise, we would have seen that expansion dropped a little bit sooner, but here we go. Looks like that expansion is the next thing to be placed down, and Top, beautiful, beautiful opening. I mean, he did so much damage in taking out this expansion, killing off Zerglings, and I believe he got a few drones in there as well. But the biggest thing, and this is the biggest reason that early game aggression can be very strong against Zerg, is it forces the Zerg player, if he responds the way LosirA did, to not make drones and make Zerglings instead. And LosirA is going to be behind economically as a result. Let's take a look over here. We can see Top eking out that slight advantage right now, and again, that is primarily due to the fact that LosirA LosirA was forced to build Zerglings instead of drones. We'll be flying off those racks, heading those back on home. Marines getting back into safety as well. We do have a bunker getting placed down, and that might get overwhelmed very quickly. Those Marines do need to move down to help protect this, and here we go, pushing forward. The metabolic boost is in play here as well. That SCV gets taken out. Now we do have quite enough Marines, and actually I think he could deal with that number of Zerglings there, but maybe not certain about how many Zerglings are here, and actually worried about a Baneling bust. We can see right now going to be doubly reinforcing that wall, also coming down with a bunker here. Now, that is not the case. LosirA not planning on a Baneling bust. He's coming out with that expansion. Also, we'll be droning up pretty hard. We've got a queen that just got canceled. So he was coming out with another queen, but actually decided to cancel that and come out with this expansion over here instead. And yeah, there you go. And then we'll be droning up, and I expect some queens from this point forward as well. Now, top, well, you think he's worried about a Baneling bust? It looks to be that's the case, huh? Very, very concerned about a Baneling bust. He's actually also preparing a transition here into factory tech. Top should move out sometime soon, though, and, you know, kind of just realize the fact that, no, those Banelings aren't really coming. Now, has he scanned or anything? No, he hasn't even seen the main, so he is completely unaware of what's going on right now for LosirA. But that's kind of the trade-off, you know, in doing what he did, is that he's going to be a little bit blind for a little while as a result. So Top will be moving down to that expansion right now, and we can see those Zerglings for LosirA heading back home. Now, we do have that third expansion coming on through, and that should be popped just about the time that Top gets this down here. Now, he's actually doing a little bit of scouting first, checking out there on the fringes, and then we'll be moving out and actually pulling back, realizing that Baneling bust isn't looking to be coming right now. Forced to lift off, though, unfortunately. So LosirA, with those Zerglings, was able to force Top to lift off, and will be being a nuisance here with this one Zergling as well. Push on out, splitting up the Marines, though. Needs to be careful, though, and getting, very close. Almost got surrounded. Top able to respond by pulling back those Marines just in the nick of time. And look at this. The guys just chilling out by each other. No big deal, they say. And there we go. Marines moving forward, getting a few free kills, and see you later, Zerglings. LosirA. Ooh, that tisk, buddy. That was very unnecessary. He lost those pretty much for zero reason. There's absolutely no reason for that to happen. Now, we've got an Infernal Predator Hellion push coming out very soon here for Top. He has transferred down some SCVs into that expansion as well, trying to get up a bunker for some defenses, but we've got some Marines moving across the map. Combat Shield is coming out. Do we have that Stim Pack research coming through? No. Just one Tech Lab right now, so that Combat Shield coming through first, and then the Stim Pack afterwards. Couple of roaches here in play, 2 more roaches in production, also 14 Zerglings. So LosirA trying to get a nice, relatively sizable force here early on in the game to defend himself from what looks to be a push sometime very soon here from LosirA. Lots of Marines churning out, lots of these Infernal Predator Hellions as well. That Blue Flame will be finished very, very shortly right now. So Top will just be sitting on this. Obviously, that expected transition will be into Tank Marine as his overall composition, but right now we'll just be going for this particular push here. A couple Marines taking out that Zergling that was trying to grab that tower here, and here comes the push right now. We have got 4 Blue Flame Hellions in just one moment, and a ton of Marines, and that's actually going to be that timing push here. The Blue Flame Hellion plus those Combat Shield Marines. The Hellions need to take care of those Zerglings, and the Marines need to try to target fire down those roaches. Hellions doing what they can, but right now it looks like that Marine count is a little too thin to actually deal with these roach numbers. It's just really not quite enough. So he's going to force him to actually push back right now. You can see those Marines heading on back home. Right now, those Infernal Predator Hellions are moving on back as well. Back over here inside the main base up top, well, he's going to be losing these Marines, or actually, no, not quite yet, because those roaches don't have that speed upgrade yet. There's no layer in play, it looks like, but here comes the Blue Flame Hellions, circumventing that roach army. Will be going straight for that resource line, killing off a few Zerglings, trying to get some drones here as well. Managed to do a little bit of damage. The drones, he didn't lose too many drones there, though, so good job on him. Managed to just lose Zerglings in that engagement for the most part. LosirA only losing a few drones there, so very, very nice. We can see right now those roaches will be heading back home, but very interesting turn of events so far. We saw a very strong opening there for Top, and that secondary push unfortunately didn't do enough damage. LosirA was properly prepared for that with that nice engagement with those roaches and speedlings, and again, heavy roach numbers, very hard obviously for that Marine that Marine Hellion force to actually engage, because neither one of those units are particularly good against the Roach. The Combat Shield Marines better so suited for the Roach suited for dealing with roaches than the Hellion is, but still not the greatest decision. Now that we have tanks in play, though, that's a completely different story. Those tanks very strong against the roach. The siege tech will be finished momentarily. We've got another tech lab here, so we'll be pumping out the double siege tanks and lots of Marines coming out here as well. We do finally have that transition into starports, getting, of course, those double medevacs, possibly throwing some Vikings into the mix as well to snipe some overlords. Certainly a possibility. LosirA grabbing the tower and then heading on down, and he could be just checking for some straggler units, possibly. Moving on across the map. Does really want that roach speed, though, for God's sakes. What's taking so long here? Roach speed needs to come through. There we go. That layer is finished right now. We do have those centrifugal hooks coming through, but here we go. Top moving across the map right now with a big strong push. We have got 4 siege tanks, bunch of Marines thrown into the mix here as well. Burrow research coming on through, centrifugal hooks. Finally, there comes that roach speed. Now we will be seeing right now Top move on into this third. He could use some medevacs in here as well. Is he going to get anything from this? That would be nice. No medevacs are in play yet, and he doesn't have any. There we go. 1 medevac coming through. Obviously would very much so like a reactor there, and would actually really like a reactor here on those racks. But Top doesn't want to stop that production to build those tech labs, and that's the reason he's sticking with what he's got. Nice tank spread, though. Here comes a big roach push right now. Spieling's moving in from the other side. A couple of banelings here as well. This could be very dangerous for Top. He is getting sandwiched. Those roaches target firing down those tanks, and those banelings trying to push forward into those Marines. Don't manage to catch up, though. 1 baneling does a little bit of splash damage. Those Marines plus that tank don't look to be enough to deal with these roaches. LosirA is pushing back, though, even though he could certainly wipe out those Marines. Those Marines just, again, aren't strong enough at this point in the game. Top will be transferring over an orbital command. Looks like he is moving into his third, and some Spielings surrounding those Marines, getting a few free kills. Roaches moving forward as well. Spielings trying to push down, but we do have a nice tank line here for Top, so that's definitely nothing that LosirA could push into at the moment in this game. He's just not prepared for that quite as of yet. So no damage done to LosirA there. He didn't take any damage at the third. We can see, in fact, Top didn't even finish killing off these destructible rocks when he saw that Roach Spiedling Baneling push. Now again, Top is moving into his third, so as such, we should see LosirA move into a fourth or push out very strong. And he has got 16 Roaches coming out, so nevertheless, he will be pushing out with a strong push. Here's some burrowed Banelings, and if you saw that huge troll video of mine, you'll know how strong those Banelings are. People rage so hard when you try to make comical videos. I mean, I'm not even the funniest guy in the world. I don't pretend to be, but still. We do have a medevac moving on across the map, and this will be, of course, used for some econ harass. Also trying to snipe out some of those tech buildings. Actually, here we go. We'll be taking a few of these free Overlord kills. We do have Top continuing to push forward. He's kind of doing that siege tank push, that slow push, if you will. That's the word I'm looking for. Is concerned about some more Burrowed Banelings, though. Setting up those tanks will be forcing those Roaches back right now. We've got a lot of Roaches and Banelings, and these Marines are out of position. See you later. Banelings mopping them up. Banelings taking out a few of those tanks as well, and this is not, Top does not have enough to deal with this. Looks like his drop was taken care of, and there's a lot of Spielings, a lot of Banelings, and those Roaches, and Top looks to have just lost the game. Very, very strong push here from LosirA, and nothing that Top could really handle. He not going to have enough. No way. That mass repair, though, certainly helping, but he can't do that indefinitely, and he's also losing a crap ton of resources. The Roach is trying to target fire down, but the mass repair, my gosh, that is nuts. Now, he has lost all of his SCVs, but the fact that bunker lived through that is absurd. Doesn't really matter, though. Top losing the bunker finally. Will be losing this expansion. We've got a burning racks over here. This expansion is in jeopardy, and Top just calling the GG. Top opened up this game with a proxy 2 racks, and because of that, he was able to absolutely devastate LosirA, doing a lot of damage, killing off a ton of Zerglings early on, but more notably, he killed off LosirA's quick expansion. This is something that certainly put him quite a bit behind. Realizing he was behind, LosirA got out his natural and also moved into a very quick third as well, using Zerglings to spot out and see if Top was pushing out. This is basically what allowed him to drone up and come out with these 2 additional expansions so quickly. We'll see here Top was very concerned about the counter Baneling bus and was also moving into his expansion as well. Top moved out at 11 minutes with a Combat Shield Blue Flame Hellion timing push. Unfortunately, though, LosirA was more than prepared, pulling forward with those Spielings, getting a nice surround on those Marines, and then using the Roaches to mop up everything else. So in this push, Top pretty much wasn't able to do much damage at all, aside from killing off a few of LosirA's units. We saw top push out again at the 15-minute mark with Marines and tanks, and LosirA was more than prepared for this. He will pull forward with those roaches, snipe out those tanks, and then use these Speelings and Bailings to force those Marines back. And again, just another position where Top ended up losing a lot more than he did in terms of damage. And once more at 17:30, as Top tried to move out, LosirA made him pay for it, using those Banelings and Roaches to mop up those Marines, force those tanks back, and then eventually force the GG. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. This was game number 2 in the series here between LosirA and Top. We are now tied up at 1-1. Stay tuned as we move on to game number 3 in just one moment. As always, guys, if you like the